All right, guys, well, we're going to get going here. We're going to start with what's brewing. Dose.com has determined the big story of the day that has captured everyone's conversation. And today we are talking Verizon. We all remember the, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Well, pay attention, Verizon users, because your info could have been leaked. And Layla breaks it down for us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm under the warning Verizon users listen up label, right? Because Verizon has confirmed the personal information of 6 million customers was recently leaked online. A cybersecurity company named UpGuard uncovered that issue. They said it was caused by human error. UpGuard alerted Verizon June 13th, but that security hole was not closed until June 22nd. Verizon said, don't worry, no loss or theft of customer information occurred. Still, UpGuard advises Verizon customers to update their PIN codes and never use the same one twice. Now, if you're a Verizon customer like me, you're probably a little on edge this morning. Robert Siciliano, a security expert with Hotspot Shield, is joining us this morning. Thanks for being here, Robert.
Good morning.
Let's talk about how this happened. My understanding, there was another company like in Israel who was responsible for taking calls for Verizon that sort of allowed this security breach to happen. Explain what that means for the average customer.
Well, it seems that they had what was supposed to be an internal link to records was exposed on the web. That means that the data, usernames, passwords, client records, was exposed to the world for a period of time until it was discovered by a security firm. That being said, that information can be used against the users in what's called social engineering scams and accessing their accounts and accessing their account records.
So one of the things I just said that Verizon told users like myself, to customers like myself to do was to change your PIN. Why is that so important?
Well, it's like your password, right?
Okay.
Your PIN's your password. And if anybody can access your account, they can manipulate your account. They can turn it off. They can change your features. They could access billing information. They can essentially access your text messages and your phone calls if they have access to all of your records.
Now, one thing that they did not say was that social security numbers were revealed or anything like that. They said, phone numbers and PIN codes. So the big question for people at home is how much damage can hackers do by just having just your phone number and your PIN code? I mean, you mentioned how they can go in there and change your settings, but could that lead to, by them having access to your text messages, them getting access perhaps to your bank account?
See, that's a good question. That's very insightful, actually. So they don't have access, say, to a social security number or a credit card number right now. But when I mentioned social engineering at the beginning of this, that means that once they have access to your account, they have access to your phone number, they have access to your PIN, your records, they can contact you directly. They could text you. They could call you. They could pose as Verizon. They could pose as anybody for that matter. And they could provide you information that only you would know based on your everyday calls and texts and information on your account. They could lie to you, essentially, socially engineer, scam you, and they could elicit social security numbers. They could elicit credit card numbers based on the inside information that they know that they use against you, essentially conning you to give up more data.
All right, Robert Siciliano, thank you so much for joining us and weighing in this morning on Morning Dose. And right now I'm sending it back to Brandon and Melissa.
All right, thanks, Layla. Brandon was over here watching that. He's a Verizon customer, and it's kind of got you.
And not just me. I paid my mom's phone bill as well. Yeah. So, Mom, if I know you're watching, can you go switch up those PIN numbers and all, and that secret password that we have?
I know.
If something happens, do we get our money back, or do we get credited to the next bill?
I don't know, Verizon, listen up. And Gary, I know it's not just Brandon and Layla in here. A bunch of people out there use Verizon. I cannot imagine that they're much happier than Brandon is, right?
Yeah, unfortunate story for sure for Verizon, but on the good side, fortunately for them, T-Mobile customers and Sprint customers, they're still on 3G, so they've yet to get this news break to them, so it's all good. That'll come to them in the next couple days, but all of our Twitter viewers, they had some stuff to say about Verizon. Oh, trust me, maybe our touchscreen got hacked. I don't know. Let's try this one. Oh, boom! Between net neutrality and their security breach today, leaving Verizon seems like a way better option. Sprint What you got? I'll tell you what they got. Not good service. Michael, oh no, my extensive search for the best memes is out for the world to see. And actually, this is an issue that I would probably likely have, so any hackers, you guys aren't going to find much on my stuff, so feel free. Sonia, trying to figure out why I'm hearing about a Verizon data leak on the news, but not from my cell phone carrier. And finally, this one's my favorite. Verizon, can you hack me now? Be careful what you wish for, still a reb.
Yeah.
Boom, drop that mic. That's a good line.
Yeah,
I like that.
She better be careful what she wishes for.
No,
really.
it's scary stuff. You keep hearing about this happening, too. Company after company, and you kind of think you're secure because the farther that technology gets, the more personal information that we actually have to give to get access to, like, apps and stuff. So it's definitely scary.